Gentleman yields back. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Wisconsin for 5 minutes.
Mr. Durham, did you see evidence of collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign in 2016?
No.
So the American public that has been told this hoax for years, it was just that, a hoax. Is that correct?
Our investigation showed that there were a lot of failures in the FBI in how they did this investigation that did not disclose or reveal information or evidence concerning any conspiracy or collusion between Mr. Trump and Russian authorities.
By the way, I hope you'll give me a full 5 minutes, Mr. Chairman. Are you familiar with the January 5th, 2017 meeting that was held in the White House? President Obama was there. Vice President Biden was there. Susan Rice was there, and others. Are you familiar with that meeting?
I know that that meeting occurred.
Do you know that FBI Director James Comey was there?
That's my understanding.
Did you get access or try to get access to Director Comey's notes?
We reviewed, in connection with our inquiry, we looked at phone records, notes, those sorts of things. I don't recall seeing any notes of Mr. Comey's from that meeting. They could exist, but I don't recall having seen them.
So as special counsel, you were authorized to investigate whether any federal official, employer, or any other person violated the law in connection with individuals associated with campaigns and individuals with the administration, including Crossfire Hurricane. Did you think this wasn't relevant to go after these notes? I mean, think about it, January 5th, 2017, we're in the process of the transition. Weren't you inquisitive about that?
Yeah, as I say, I don't know. We had sought from the FBI all such records. What I can't tell you is that there were any records. That's what I'm saying.
Could you repeat that last answer?
Sure. When I think as we set out in the report, the Bureau produced in excess of, I think it was 6,800,000 pages of records that were reviewed. Among the records that we sought from the FBI were relevant notes, records, telephone records, and the like. What I can't tell you is whether, and Mr. Comey being one of them, what I can't tell you, because I just don't know, is whether or not there were notes of Mr. Comey's from that meeting.
Are you aware that in 2017, prior to the Department of Justice filing a motion to dismiss the case against General Flynn, they interviewed Mr. Priestap?
Yes.
During that interview, the Department of Justice found Mr. Priestap's notes, which suggested that the FBI was trying to entrap Mr. Flynn. Why didn't you interview Mr. Priestap? Why do you think it wasn't relevant to subpoena Mr. Priestap to gather information on his involvement with Crossfire Hurricane, especially the Attorney General at the time said they were trying to lay a perjury trap for Mr. Flynn?
Sure. So as relates specifically to Mr. Priestap, and is reflected in the report, Mr. Priestap did agree to talk to us with regard to the Alpha Bank matter. So we interviewed him on that matter. He was not willing to talk beyond that. As previously indicated, we were disappointed with some of these decisions on the part of high-ranking members of the FBI not to cooperate as you are. But there are reasons. You have to, if you're going to subpoena somebody to the grand jury, which is one of the more powerful tools that you have, you've got to look at a number of factors to determine whether or not it's appropriate, whether it makes sense, whether it be productive. And in this case, not speaking to Mr. Priestap's situation alone, but one of the decisions was, okay, does Priestap have information that would be relevant or is likely to be relevant to the criminal matters, not the general inquiry into what happened in the investigation of the campaign, but the criminal matters the grand jury is looking at or not?
Mr. Durham, I only have 30 seconds here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're very disappointed also. I keep hearing this term disappointed all day long. Let's sum it up. Vice President Biden and President Obama knew about it. Hillary fabricated it, the FBI orchestrated it, and the media sold it to the public, and it's still out there. The question is, who watches the watchmen? The FBI has become a Praetorian guard here, protecting the nation's capital, but not the people of the United States of America. It is going to be up to us as Republicans, and solely us as Republicans, starting on this Judiciary Committee, to get accountability to the FBI in the United States of America.
Gentleman yields back. I apologize, Mr. Durham, but we are going to have to, I apologize to my colleagues. I was wanting to get this done before votes, and we've been working with the floor, but unfortunately they've called them. So we're going to recess. It'll probably be 30 minutes, more or less, and then we'll come back, and you can obviously make yourself comfortable back in the area. And again, I apologize. Our team here was hoping to able to get through that. We'll be back in approximately half an hour. Committee stands in recess.